Hello everyone, I'm Veronica Papacosta, CEO of Seafood Industry Australia. Joining me here today is Yanni Kailis from Disruptive Packaging. Hello Yanni.
Hey Veronica, great to catch up.
Disruptive Packaging is SIA's newest member, and today we're going to learn more about Yanni Kailis' journey through the seafood industry and his involvement in disruptive packaging. So Yanni, as you know, as most people watching would know, I'm a retailer, and so I'm quite aware of disruptive packaging in terms of using your products in my business to start responding to sustainability and climate resilience targets. Please tell us a bit more about you and about disruptive packaging and how valuable it is to the seafood industry.
Thanks, Veronica. And yeah, look, Disruptive Packaging is the inventor, the manufacturer and distributor of some truly innovative packaging. Our Unicore and Unicool boxes have been engineered with the seafood industry as a key focus to help replace mainly polystyrene eskies and wax cardboard boxes with a far more environmentally friendly and sustainable solution. My background is traditionally in seafood processing, wholesaling and retailing, and it was when I was managing our food service business, Kailis Brothers in Perth, that my journey with disruptive packaging began. Some of our customers included, say, large global brands such as the Ritz-Carlton or Intercontinental Hotels, and all the way down to small family-run restaurants. They were coming to us as their seafood supplier to find alternative single-use packaging, and the eskies were the big offender here. So they would no longer accept these for the delivery of their fish anymore, and so I searched far and wide for an adequate alternative and was just constantly let down by the performance of, say, anything cardboard related, which we know just doesn't work in our industry. So after extensive research, I then came across the Unicore boxes that Disruptive Packaging had recently developed, and not only did they perform incredibly well by being waterproof, strong thermal insulators, slip resistant, incredibly strong and stackable, but they hit the environmental benefits out of the park. And in fact, economically speaking, through a reuse system, we would actually be ahead of our traditional packaging anyway. I couldn't help but, I guess, see the bigger picture here and realise that these boxes would and maybe even should change the game nationally and globally for how we pack and transport seafood. Fast forward a couple of years, I'm now incredibly proud to be one of the disruptors, working with some incredibly talented and skilled visionaries and such a dedicated team that are really looking to make a genuine difference.
It's a fantastic story, and I think what's really important I love the idea that you sort of reinvented from the inside, right, and went and found the solution that the seafood industry needed. One of the things that I think is really interesting about the disruptive packaging or the Unicore box is its cost effectiveness. So one of the challenges we had was around the idea that polys were cheap. We knew that our customers didn't want to receive them anymore, but we just thought it was going to be inhibitive from a cost perspective. But we have found the opposite. How do you think? Was that a particular approach from Disruptive to make them cost effective? How is it that they can compete against the poly so well?
Yeah, absolutely. And look, when the team designed it, they have such a strong, extensive history in the packaging industry, so they really understand that it needs to tick the box of technical feasibility. So they need to actually perform, and we know that the poly boxes actually work. They're good at what they do. In fact, they're almost too good. And so we ignore all the consequences of using a polystyrene box. So technical feasibility was the first point, and the guys engineered something really incredible. The second point is environmental sustainability and environmental feasibility, and we've absolutely ticked those boxes, and I can talk for days about how we're doing that. But the third point to your question is absolutely has to be affordable. It has to be economically feasible. At the end of the day, we're all running businesses in some very tight markets, and it's not to say that the bottom line is more important than sustainability, but what happens if sustainability and the bottom line actually come together? And that's where we're at the moment. We've got a box that we're for example, Kailis Brothers, our business in Perth, we are ahead through a reuse system with these boxes. We've halved, if not slashed our packaging costs by a quarter, or rather a quarter of what they used to be, because we're getting 4 uses up to even a dozen uses sometimes. So absolutely, it's that marriage between technical, economic and environmental feasibility.
Yeah, no, look, I think what you said there about when environmental and economic collide, that's return on investment, and it's super important for anyone running a business. Tell me, how is the industry responding to the box, and how do they get involved? If people watching this haven't been exposed to the product, or how do they get in touch?
Yeah, look, it's been fantastic from our perspective, because the whole sort of buzzword of sustainability is not a new one to anyone in our industry. And sustainability is the core of our business. It's our purpose, and it's our why. So when our founding team identified that the traditional foam esky was the key offender, we didn't have to look long and hard to find others that were looking for an alternative. I mean, statistically speaking, the foam box is just a huge offender. We produce around 15 million tons worth of polystyrene a year, and the world recycles less than 10% of it. And our seafood players know that a lot of that either ends up in landfill or, unfortunately, in our oceans. So with this in mind, that's why we developed this product. It was in response to people actually wanting a change. And so we found something we engineered something that's made of 70% raw earth elements. It reduces energy use by 25%, and over its life cycle, 80% less CO2 emissions are produced. And so the seafood industry was absolutely one of the target markets, but it wasn't us necessarily pushing it into the industry. The industry was almost willing us on to create this. I think the seafood industry has done such a great job in promoting sustainable practices, and it does need to be brought in throughout the whole supply chain, though. Our aquaculture producers and wild catch fisheries are doing such a great job with looking at their processes, and in fact, processes in the supply chain are minimizing fish waste through value adding parts like bones and shells. Retailers are doing such a great job in marketing and promoting, say, underutilized species as their key sustainability initiative. But where we're falling short still is how we're transporting and packing seafood throughout the supply chain, and that's what we're here to solve.
Fantastic. So to get involved, do they call you? Do they email? What do we do? How do more people get disruptive packaging into their business?
Yeah, absolutely. Call us, email us, knock on the door, send us a fax, whatever it is, we'll absolutely get back to you. And we hope you won't have to come to us. We'll come to you as quickly as we can as well. And some of the conversations we're having from lobster exporters to local wholesalers to retailers are just fantastic.
Well, that's super exciting. And don't even joke about the fax. There are still fax machines floating around the seafood industry. I've seen them. Now, Liz and Yanni, thank you so much for your time, and thank you for joining me. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. To anyone who's watching the video, I urge you to get in touch with Disruptive Packaging. They do find the solutions, and there is a really good return on investment for your business. And if anyone is watching that is not already a member of SIA, then I encourage you to visit our website and click on the Join SIA tab to find out how you can come on board. So thank you so much for your time today, Yanni.
Thanks, Veronica.